because I don't think I'm the one who needs to make a call about what to do in a situation like this. She shouldn't be putting the responsibility of deciding with regards to her marriage on my shoulders in the first place. Does that make me look like the reason their marriage had to end was because her daughter wasn't happy about her marriage? Everyone knows it's not true. I don't want to feel bad, but she's cornering me so I can't escape. But seriously, Mark is a terrible person, and it's insane that he's letting himself be treated like this. Just because my mother's richer than him, it's dehumanizing. And I can't believe he's just letting her do this to him every day. I haven't told my dad about it because I don't want him to worry about me. And I know if I tell him, he'll definitely intervene. And that'll be another dramatic showdown that I don't want him to take on. I feel terrible, but I don't know what to do here. It's a for refusing to decide whether my mother should divorce her failing husband. Update 1. Hey guys. So I read the comments on my original post, and the general consensus was that I should tell my dad about what I was going through instead of trying to deal with all my problems myself. I guess it's true because I do tend to take it all on myself instead of speaking up and asking for help when I need help. I feel bad telling my dad because I think it might be bothersome for him since he has so much on his plate already. I mean, he's a literal cancer patient, so it's not easy for me to go to him with my problems the way I used to before his diagnosis. I think if I just tried to talk to him, then maybe I wouldn't have had to go through so much because he wouldn't have allowed it at all. Like this time, I finally told my dad all about my mother and her sick techniques, and he called her up and tore into her. She tried to tell my dad that this was none of his business, but he wasn't having it, and told her that he'd be filing for full custody, and that he'd make sure she doesn't ever get to see me after this. She pretended to protest, but deep down, my dad and I realized she was completely indifferent towards me. Her main concern was how she would be perceived by others when they discovered she lost custody of her only child because she prioritized her husband over her own flesh and blood. That's why she relentlessly battled my dad for me, not out of love, but for her selfish reputation. If she loved me, she would have been a better mother, and that was something she'd never even tried to be. Now, it was just too late. After the phone call with my mom, my dad explained to me the same things that people in the comments had told me, that I was his daughter, and that I didn't need to think twice before coming to him with a problem. Because as a father, he could never think of me as a burden. My well-being was his responsibility, and his cancer wasn't going to prevent him from giving me the best life and solving my problems whenever he needed to step in. And I needed to remember that. I won't lie. I teared up at that point because it just reminded me that even though he was a lot weaker than I remembered, he was still my strong dad underneath. I broke down completely when I realized that I actually felt safe and loved again after a really long time, all thanks to my mom and Mark. I'd completely forgotten what it was like to feel that way. But then my dad reminded me that no matter what, he would always protect me, even if it meant facing the worst diseases in the world. It sounds ridiculously sentimental, but I'm genuinely thrilled that it's the reality for me. Update 2. My dad has filed for full custody of me, and my mom isn't going to get any visitation rights either. It doesn't really matter since I'm just 1 year away from being a legal adult anyway. But my dad said that he just doesn't trust my mother anymore because her head has obviously been turned by Mark's presence in her life. Recently, she texted me to tell me that I disappointed her by dragging my dad into this, even though I knew he was sick, and called me a selfish and manipulative brat. She also added that she was really happy now that she hadn't actually divorced Mark over what I said. I was accused of trying to drive a wedge between them because that's the kind of petty person I was, but I failed. And she and Mark are now stronger than ever. She would gladly give up custody of me because I don't deserve to be her daughter anyway. There were a couple of other really mean things she said, but I don't care. She can say whatever she wants, but it won't change the fact that she's the one who failed as a mother. She's only freaking out because she knows my grandparents are about to completely disown her, but she doesn't even give a damn about it. She's completely obsessed with Mark. I'm at a loss for words. I've had my fair share of disagreements with my mom over the years, but this is just downright insane. In my opinion, she's beyond redemption. At least my grandparents have tried to knock some sense into their daughter, but even that's not working. And if her own parents can't bring her back to her senses, then we're definitely not going to be able to accomplish that. My dad's been kind enough to allow her parents to still see me because they've never done anything wrong. I just wish she'd been able to take a leaf out of their book and learn how to have a good relationship with your ex, even after divorce. Because even my grandpa wants a divorce. And despite that, they've done their best to raise my mom to be a strong, successful woman. Now she's almost in her 40s, so they can't be held responsible for whatever she's up to now. Unfortunately, my mother failed on all fronts as a wife, as a mother, and even as a daughter. Update 3. Hey guys. Today was a seriously mind-blowing day. My mom officially cut all ties with me and now I'm totally free from her. I went with my dad to witness this crazy moment and guess what? I bumped into her again, maybe for the last time ever. It's like I don't even exist to her anymore. I'm so shocked and confused, I don't even know what to feel. Like, I'm sad, but I'm also relieved, I guess. I don't know, I just have mixed feelings about all of this. Mark wasn't there, which was no big surprise because that thief probably didn't have the spine to face me after whatever happened. It was only my mother's actions that really hurt me anyway. He can go to hell because he's very impressive and in my life. My dad and uncle treated me to dinner today, trying to lift my spirits. It worked a bit, but guess what? Just 2 days ago, we found out that my dad's actually improving. Can you believe it? He might actually beat cancer. Please, please pray for him because I can't bear the thought of losing my only parent whom I love so much. I just can't. My uncle's great, but he's not my dad, and nobody will ever be like him, ever. I don't know how much time I have with him, but I just hope that whatever time we have together is only good times and nothing else. Nevertheless, I hope you guys keep us in your prayers, and thank you to all of you who responded.